Thank you for listening to The Real Estate Voice. I'm Vernon Jones with Jones Homes, and for over 30 years, we have serviced the 7-county Denver metro area. Soaring mortgage rates continue to shift the market. The source of these ripple effects of these rising rates, it's probably hanging at around 6.5%, basically doubled what they were last year, has definitely had buyers pull back. Mortgage applications are probably down. Oh man, they're probably down lower than they've been since 2006, 2007. They've truly shifted in a market that people are paying $5, $6, $7, $800 more for a payment on a house than they would have been last year. Of course, that depends on your credit as well. It's still plenty enough to give buyers cold feet. Rising rates on home loans are also dampening the enthusiasm of sellers, since many would become buyers who'd have to finance a new loan at today's higher rates. Rather than foot those higher costs, many are deciding to stay put and not list at all. Homeowners continue to be more hesitant to list homes for sale this year compared to last. But I will say the inventory is increasing, and in some places it's up 30, 40, 50% if we're dealing with nationwide issues. I think there's some places that I've seen listings are over 150% or more higher than they were last year. The overall housing inventory, both fresh listings and oldies that haven't been bought yet, has grown sizably by around 30% here in the metro area, some places up to 40%. Home shoppers have more homes to choose from, and these homes are generally on the market longer than they were last year. Currently, properties linger on the market a median of around 50 days now. And for the week ending October 1st, they spent 6 more days on the market compared with a year ago. Understand, these are national figures that I'm discussing. The pace of home sales has significantly slowed. In fact, it's been slowing for the last 10 weeks. This means that buyers will have more time than last year or earlier this year to think through their options before missing out. Ultimately, home buyers do have more options today, even though if it's at a higher interest rate. Even if many have been picked over already, let's face it, some home buyers may find it hard to get all excited about viewing a property that didn't catch their eye the first time around. This lack of fresh real estate housing inventory, so to speak, creates it's a mixed bag that can be draining for home buyers with very specific must-have lists. In other words, home buyers who are grabbing at almost anything they can get a hold of have become picky. They've set a higher bar to find the perfect home, because if they're going to pay more money, they want the house to have more of their dreams, more of their desires, which is fully understandable. But today's distinct mix of listings does behoove a different breed of buyer. Bargain hunters who are willing to haggle and aren't too hung up on having a home, having it all, just as long as they can get it at the right price. Today's market may create better opportunities for negotiation on price for those who are more flexible about what they need to have in their next home, period. Even though home prices are softer, they're still high. Currently, home prices hover around, let's say $427,000. That's a national median for the week ending October 1st. Prices continue to rise by 13.3% compared with the same time last year, this similar week of last year. This is the 40th straight week of double-digit price growth. But I remember saying here on this podcast a few months ago that it was 25% year over year increase, 20% year over year increase. So obviously the increase is slowing. And again, I'm going to say to you, there are some decreasing and downward pressure on home prices that is actually happening. So I think this 13.3% year over year price growth, even though it's a median nationally, every sector, every city has its own different experience. I think Cation Schiller, who does a lot of analytical data for the housing market, said this is the first month that they've had a decline in housing prices since they can last remember. And of course, home prices are sloping downward seasonally because, as we mostly know, that the home buyer pool shrinks during the school season. Most people with families don't like to move when their children are in school. My thought to people out there right now, do I expect home prices to decrease and retreat? Yes. How much? Again, that's a question. I've seen numbers from 1% to 5%. I've seen some economists say 10 to 20% over the next year in some pockets. We're not predicting that for Denver and the metro area, but there are some places that will get that are in Colorado, that are more in the extremes of the metro area. My guess is if you can buy, because you got more selection than you've had in years. Thank you for listening to The Real Estate Voice. Any questions, feel free to give us a call at 303-359-8218. This is Vernon Jones. And as always, please be safe.